Welcome to day 4 of our alternative book assignment here. By now you should have at least 2 to 3 of your boxes filled up completely. There are 6 in total. You're working on the storyline. I understand when I'm working on these kinds of projects too is that I need a few days to figure out a good storyline, because sometimes I'll get started on one, I'm like, this is a great idea, and then it goes sideways because I can't find a picture that I need. I don't have an idea, and I'm looking through, just thumbing through that history book, coming through comic books, trying to find something to use. I don't want to say take your time, but come up with a game plan as to give some overall ideas, and then when you start going through the textbooks, you can find those pictures a lot faster, a lot easier. Case in point, if I wanted to do something on Harry Potter, I would look into the early 2000s when Harry Potter was big, to add that into something. If we're going by canon, for Harry Potter canon, Harry Potter existed, his time when all that stuff was taking place was pretty much the late 90s. It was the mid to late 90s, based upon Joe Rowling's, based upon the timeline as to when she was writing the books and where she was in her headspace. It's not recent stuff. This is pre-20th century, pre-21st century. It's the first, it's not the 20th. We're always a decade ahead of ourselves instead of behind than the one that we're currently living in. So we're living in 2000. It's the 21st century. I don't make these things. This is just how it works. One other aspect of that I want you guys to be working on these pieces is coming up with a border design, because having an open design where this image here bleeds into this one is not going to work unless this story dictates that. If some events happen in one panel and they transfer over to the next panel, I should see a seamless transition of that storyline. But if they are two different storylines, make sure you have a border around those two pieces to isolate them, to keep them separate from one story to another. That way it limits confusion for your viewer. That's why we do it, is so that we're concise in what we're doing. Any border pattern that you guys want to do, it works perfectly fine for me. So find something that you can repeat several times over, so that as it goes around the overall piece, it looks like a finished border element. Color, pattern, texture all need to be kind of in the same wheelhouse. That is what is indicative of showing off the little border edge. Okay, other than that, you guys know where to find me. If you got questions, I will see you guys later. Have a good one next class. Nobody died this weekend because I think it's a Friday. Later, guys.